What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Welcome to another challenge. This one is given by Alex Bovey. I'm pretty positive I'm saying the last part of that name right. I don't know, I've sort of just ignored that part of his name for a while. I know him as Tall Bovey, but I just call him Tall. So he told me to go through either Frostburn or Sawtooth with no Slag, Corrosive, Shock, or Fire, and no Deathtrap. So I just went with explosive weapons. I went with a sword explosion and an unkept herald. But mainly I'm pretty much going to use the unkept herald the whole time. Also at the beginning there you may have seen that I did have a chain lightning. I figured that out later on. I take it off, but since it's never used, then I never actually disqualified myself from the challenge because it was never used. I figured it out a little bit later, and I also go ahead and put on a stockpile relic for pistol, shotgun, and rocket ammo. I probably should have put on a rocket, but it's okay. Everything worked out just fine. Herald was pretty much all I needed. Honestly, this sounded a little bit hard from the start, but honestly, as long as I keep moving and just not go straight into the enemies, I'm good. I'm basically good. But yeah, he said Frostburn or Sawtooth. I went ahead and I went with Frostburn, since a lot of you guys are asking for Sawtooth stuff, so I'm sort of just going to put them all together and make one of the hardest challenges ever and get myself killed over and over and over at some point. Haven't attempted that just yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Also, if you have a challenge, always feel free to post, but do not go posting it on any other videos besides these challenge videos. I saw someone posted it on the final LP. I never said don't post it there, so I'm not complaining or anything, but now I'm saying it, don't go posting in any other videos besides the challenge videos, please. I don't know, just because I don't want to see challenges on my other videos, But basically, I'm using Legendary Anarchist and stuff. I'm also using the Blockade, which is a beast. It just takes all the hits. So I'm pretty much a tank. And the Herald, the Herald just destroys everything. All I have to worry about is ammo. But when I get that ammo relic, I have to worry about it a little bit less. Sorry for not realizing I didn't have the ammo relic on at the beginning, but oh well. Doesn't matter. For some reason, I thought the chain lightning was the ammo relic. I guess I just looked at it really quickly. I can't really remember. But yeah. Barrels. There are a lot of barrels always. Barrels screw me over. I was attempting another challenge last night on stream, and the barrels screwed me over countless times. Also the fact that when I'm streaming, my gaming skill goes down 50%. That also screwed me over. But I normally never stream a challenge anyway. Normally I just do it off stream it on camera like this one, and I normally get through them rather easily. There's only one I had a problem with, and then the rules got changed, so I didn't have a problem afterwards. But yeah, also these Nomad Arsonists, I had to stay away from these, because these guys like to explode, right there, just explode. They'll explode, because splash damage from the Herald will go ahead and hit them in their little back gasoline tank thing, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, gotta stay away from those, because if I don't, I'm going to die. They will probably one-hit me. I assume that they will go ahead and one-hit me. So, also, a skill that really helped me out here was the kill skill, what's it called? Unstoppable Force. As you can see, I'm moving really fast. I'm moving really fast. Faster than I normally do. I don't know if Legendary Anarchist buffs that skill or not. I didn't really look, didn't really pay attention, but it felt like I was going faster than what I normally do when that kill skill is up, but oh well. It does help me out a good amount. It allows me to maneuver around enemies very easily, and especially spider ants. Some of the big bulkier spider ants are really easy to outmaneuver and just take out. Also, Legendary Loot Midget. When I saw this, I was like, screw you, I'm done with you. Whenever these guys appear in challenges where I'm not allowed to die, I get away from them until I'm confident I can take them out, because these guys are little tanks, and they're very powerful, and I don't like it. Also, Sword Explosion. It's not going to be used too much, because I realize here that it could easily kill me. Especially with this much anarchy backing it up. This gun will easily kill me. I probably should have went with something else, but anyway, explosive shotguns that have like grenades or rockets on them will probably always kill me. And this was like the best Torg shotgun I could basically use. I didn't want to use just like a regular like no element whatsoever, even though technically explosive isn't an element. But I didn't want to go and use like a Jacob shotgun or something. Like here I go down, I'm like, no, not like this. And well, not unfortunately, but fortunately, he is low enough to the point where I could just take him out with the Herald. Basically, this challenge was basically sort of like in the bag once I reached the like 200 anarchy. Once I got to that point, nothing was stopping me, because even if I did go low on health, I could discord and stuff and blah blah blah, and I'd just basically become an unstoppable cloud of explosions. So this challenge, it seemed hard on paper. Here, this is where I swap out the relic. I realized, oh crap, I didn't have the relic on. Also, I realized that I didn't take off the chain lightning in a second here. I'm going to do that in a second after I buy some ammo. There's no rule about not buying ammo here. There's no rule. There's none of that. None of that at all. But now that I say that, someone's probably going to be like, nope, you cannot buy ammo. You cannot pick up ammo. You cannot do anything. You have to use what you have. And honestly, that would suck. Depending on the challenge, that would suck. And I really picture that popping up in the comments right now. Run through this area, but you cannot pick up ammo unless it drops from enemies, of course, because, that's like impossible to avoid. If it drops from enemies, I'm going to end up picking it up regardless. But you cannot get ammo from anywhere besides enemy drops. That would suck. That would honestly suck. Someone gave me a health challenge like that. I can't remember what else it had, but the health challenge, I can't remember what the challenge actually was, but I remember it said that you cannot regain health in any form of way besides like health pickups. You can't use healing skills. You can't use leaf light or life lead. I said that backwards. So that's another one. I definitely got a lot of challenges, a lot more than I ever thought I was going to. So I know some people are getting frustrated that I haven't done theirs yet. I'm only doing like one of these a day or every other day, considering I have the final LP to do. So calm down. I'll get to yours at some point. And if I never get to yours, then there was probably a good reason why. I don't know. But another thing about Frostburn is that it's really weird. Like, it's designed really weird. Like, as you can see, there are two ways you could go from this point. So I do kill everything on the map, but the routes I take, they sort of make sense. I do end up killing everything, but I don't know. You may be confused, like, why didn't you go this way? Why didn't you go that way? I did it all for like a certain reason. I'll explain as it's happening. But yeah, Sword Explosion. I guess it works from far away with big clustered enemies, but honestly, the Herald was a lot better. But I don't know, I just used it just to use it. It at this like range right here, it's pretty safe to go ahead and use. I can't use it very close up at all, or I will risk killing myself. So I didn't want to do that. Also, Raging Goliaths. They always turn before I could kill them. You will see that happen at least like 5 times in this challenge right here. Pretty much, I can't really think of anything on this map that'd be like a really big obstacle to me. Honestly, what I thought would be an obstacle is the one area before you enter not Flame of Fire. Was that her name? No, that's the shield, obviously. The Firehawk's lair. Before you enter there, there's like this big area with a ton of like platforms and like high up spaces and stuff and encampments, and it has this big fire in the middle. The problem with that one is it has so many barrels, and by the time I get there, I have so much anarchy that I cannot hit them. And without a chain lightning, it's really hard to hit them spot on. So I sort of just throw like basic grenades at them, just the default grenade. Also, another thing I thought would probably suck is you know how when you walk into the Firehawk's lair, there's like these beam bars connecting from area to area, and below that there's like spikes and stuff that you can fall in. I thought, what if I fall in there? I'll lose. But even that didn't really matter, because by the time I got there, all the enemies on the map were dead, so I had already won the challenge. So, but I didn't. That's technically part of the reason why I didn't go there. like first. Like I didn't take the route to the right. I took the one to the left where the Lasco is here, because let's say I did like mess up, and I've done it before, and I just really didn't want to risk it. I mean, I know it sounds kind of pathetic, but I just really didn't want to risk it, so I left it for dead last, because I know after you kill 2 lunatics, that's it. The 2 badass lunatics in that cave, that's it. There are no more enemies on the map if you've gone everywhere else. I also pick up a Lasco here, expecting it to do like pretty good work with 200 anarchy, but I'm greatly disappointed. And it shoots everywhere besides where I'm aiming, so you know that's a thing too. But yeah, pretty much at this point, nothing can really stop me, unless I get gangbanged or like hit off a cliff. I'm pretty much solid here. But again, this one sounded hard, like when I read it, but it turned out not to be too difficult. He didn't say don't use explosive weapons, so I used explosive weapons. Now I don't know if he actually meant, you know, just use like straight up like elemental like type guns. Like again, explosive is an elemental, and there's a tubby spider ant right there. Tubby spider ant and a loot midget. Look at that luck though. But since he didn't say explosive, I went with explosive. He didn't say like non-explosive, so I took it as I could use explosive. So, oh well, I went with it. And my rare drop from this is a Black Widow skin. Yay, that's great. It's like, wow. It's like a loot midget and a tubby spider ant, and I get nothing good from them. Nothing. I get money and stuff I'm not going to use. But oh well, either way, even if something would have dropped, I probably wouldn't have used it. It'd been cool if he dropped like a perfect like non-elemental butcher. I would have just like gone to town and everything with that. Also, the Lasco is there. The Lasco is just sort of like a hindrance. You'll see it pop up multiple times since I don't use the number keys to switch weapons. I use the scroll wheel like a scrub. So you'll see it pop up a few times. I try to break like spider ant piles with it. Doesn't end up working very well at all. But yeah, this is a long video. This is like a 30-minute video. It took 30 minutes to complete this just because there's so many enemies here. So my commentating on it, don't really know what else to say besides, because it isn't really something I could go into detail. Basically, I'm just shooting things. I'm shooting things. Also, aiming down the sights with the Herald tends to be a lot more accurate than not aiming down the sights, which, you know, makes sense. Obviously, it makes sense, but I don't know. Sometimes when I'm not aiming down the sights with the Herald, they will go in like 2 completely different directions, but when I'm aiming down the sights, they go perfectly straight. It's like, what? How does that work? Anarchy, do your job. Do your job, Anarchy. I know you're broken. You're broken as hell, but still. So here I decided to go ahead and take out the Blazing Spider Ant with a Lasco. Again, less than satisfying, honestly. And he just follows me. There's no outmaneuvering him without my speed boost there. Also, I try to kill the barrels here with the Lasco. As you can see, that is not going to happen anytime soon. I get one up there, but I can't get the one I'm actually aiming at. All the bullets are literally going in every other direction besides what I'm aiming at. So, and hitting some barrels with the Herald tends to be kind of hard, as you will see. But barrels are your mortal enemy, and anything you have to do without dying. They're your mortal enemy, because they will be the ones to kill you. None of the things that are programmed to kill you will kill you. Just the thing that's programmed to explode will kill you. And it'll one-hit you, because again, I said this in another video, environmental damage does not apply to health gate. Well, health gate doesn't apply to environmental damage. If a barrel explodes, doesn't matter if you're at full health. If it has enough damage to kill you, it will kill you, and it will laugh. It will laugh. That like bottom part that's left after it explodes, that's laughing at you. That's laughing at you. You can't do anything about it because it's already destroyed. You can't destroy it any further, so you can't take out your rage on anything besides the enemies. Now here I get stuck in a corner. If this was a more powerful enemy, like a badass or something, I would probably be screwed at that point. Since I'm not allowed to slag anything, and that's another reason I didn't use the antagonist, because it slags things, and I'm not allowed to use that. So my gear choice was limited. Like, I didn't use an actual grenade because I didn't want to like take out an explosive grenade and accidentally get myself killed with it, so I just went with a basic default grenade. I know the chain lightning was there, but I'm pretty positive I took that off at this point, because I do throw my grenades at barrels somewhere along the line, because they're pretty decent at taking out barrels. Now this area right here, I figured it'd be pretty safe to go ahead and use the sword explosion here. I I'm way above them. There's no way they're gonna take me. There's no way it's gonna take me out or anything's gonna take me out. So I go ahead and use it. I think one of them actually bounces up to me and nearly kills me. So that just makes me not want to use the sword explosion. There's a grenade there that he threw. That's cool. That's how you bro, Mr. Nomad Arsonist. That's how you bro. You carry explosives and flamethrowers. That's not cool. But I'm waiting for the point. I'm pretty positive one bounces up and nearly kills me. It's mostly because they hit the side platforms. And they bounce off of that, but still, it's not cool. It's not cool. It really isn't. So, basically everything's dead around here. Again, barrels. Hate them. Do not like. Do not want. Do not like. Want no part in it. Also, I'm on fire. Save me, Tom Cruise. That had to pop up. Everything, basically like 50% of the enemies in this on this map are fire. So, taking away my fire element didn't really do too much to me at all. But, you know, taking away elements in general did. Elements are definitely a must in OP8. If you can't use them, you have a problem. And I was lucky enough that he didn't say, don't use explosive, so I used explosive. So even though it's not technically an element, again, it still sort of is. It does have, like, bonus damage in the splash, so, you know. And it's neutral across the board, unless you're fighting Oni, because Oni is a butt. Oni is a butt. So I have a ton of spiderlings here. This is basically the only thing my Lasco will be able to kill, even with 329 anarchy backing it up. And that is kind of pathetic. I thought the Lasco was better than that, but oh well, maybe I'm just not using it correctly. And the Lasco isn't really something you could use with anarchy anyway, since, you know, the accuracy is, like, god-awful on that thing. Like, oh my god. And all weapons are pretty accurate, too, but 341 anarchy, what are you going to do? You don't have accuracy. You just don't. You don't know what accuracy is anymore. Once you get, like, past 200, accuracy is, like, not a thing. It's not a thing. If you like accuracy, then you probably don't play a Mecro. Or probably don't play an Anarchy one. But most likely you just don't play one at all. See, I had trouble there hitting the barrels. Barrels, my accuracy. The accuracy here, I'm so glad the accuracy didn't end up screwing me over at some points. Because, I don't know. The lack of accuracy is just so bad. Like, I'm not hitting anything right now. I'm just not. I'm hitting their feet, and the splash damage is killing them. That's pretty much what I'm at now. Like, even now, I'm aiming down the sights, and they're just flying everywhere. So I'm basically, at this point, forced to aim down the sights, and even then, I don't have very good accuracy. But, yeah, awkward silences. Awkward silences are never cool when you're commentating something. It really isn't. But pretty much everything's dead around here. Part of me remembers there being an enemy that spawns like randomly over here, but it's not. It's actually off to the other side where he is. But there's a chest, and I open it, and I see a Jacob shotgun, and I get a little bit tempted, but I don't go ahead and pick it up. Just because I figure, you know, the Herald is basically going to get me through this. And basically it does. The Herald was a lifesaver here. Herald was a lifesaver. So many enemies on this map. That means so much anarchy. So you guys got to be careful. If you don't take away the anarchy aspect, we have a there could be a problem if you pick a big area with a ton of enemies. Pick like a smaller area and take away. No wait. If you pick a smaller area and don't take away anarchy, then it could be a little harder, but then it gets a little easier because it's like sort of all balances out. Because a ton of enemies makes it harder, but a ton of enemies to stack anarchy with just in turn will make it easier down the line. If I don't have a problem from the beginning, then the challenge will probably go ahead and be completed. Now, if it's an area where I'd probably go down a lot, like when you guys are picking your areas or allowing me to pick an area, like think before that. Because if you pick an area where it's very condensed and I'm going to go down a lot, but I'm also going to be able to get myself back up, then it does make it harder because my anarchy count stays down if you don't take away my anarchy. But there are some challenges where you just can't take away my anarchy, because if you want me to go ahead and fight Vora with no anarchy, then we have a problem here. Because Mecro can't fight a raid boss without anarchy. It's not going to happen. I need some form of anarchy. I need some. Someone wanted me to fight Vora with my Necromancer, but at least gave me 150 anarchy to work off with. But I can only go so far down the tree, since I have to stay at 150 anarchy. So, but there's a lot of things you gotta think about. If you just like toss a challenge at me, I will most likely just steamroll it, because you gotta think through this stuff. Gotta think through like my skill trees, like taking away like one thing from my skill tree could possibly just ruin the skill tree for me. Like, if you take away Intersperse Outburst, I'm not going to use the middle tree. There's no point. Unless I'm going to use Deathtrap and use that elemental sparkle thing. Make it sparkle skill. So yeah, taking away one skill can ruin a skill tree for me. It will make it pretty much unusable. Like, take away Anarchy, I'm not going to use the Anarchy skill tree, obviously. You take away Intersperse Outburst and, like, make it sparkle, I'm not going to use the middle tree. If you, I don't know, if you take away something from, the best friends forever, that's what it's called? I played a Mecro so much I can't remember what like the skill trees are called. If you take away stuff from the green tree, I don't think it really matters because the green tree is very versatile. But if you take away Deathtrap, then that also limits my skill choices across my skill tree. So you guys gotta think about that. Also, if you pick another character for me to use, think about how you can limit me there too. Other characters, I think if you take away one skill, it's not really gonna matter too much. I think that only works that way with the Mecro. Because her skills are so, like, broken in good and bad ways. Like, Anarchy's broken in a good way, and, like, her elemental skills are broken in a really bad way, as in they don't work. So, again, if you're gonna give me a challenge, you gotta think through it. Because if I pick it and end up steamrolling it, you cannot complain. You cannot complain. Again, this one sounded hard, so I went ahead and did it. I don't want to just go ahead and be that guy and pick out the easy challenges and, like, complete them easily, because that doesn't prove anything, does it? That doesn't prove a darn thing. So at this point, I believe I just have to run through the route to the Firehawk's lair, and we'll be good from there, because I think there are no more enemies on the map. I think I did run back to fight Scourge, but I didn't have Scourge unlocked, and I don't think that really matters. I still take out basically the only thing about the challenge was run through Frostburn and take out all the enemies without dying. So, since Scourge wasn't there, then he didn't really count. This Mecro doesn't really have anything completed at all besides, like, DLC, doesn't have side quests or anything. So what I should probably do is go on live stream and stuff and go ahead and run through, like, all, like, major side quests and stuff, just so I could have, like, mini bosses for areas unlocked, just to make it like that much harder. Like, I remember I had to do that with Assassinate the Assassins. I went through that side quest before I went ahead and did that challenge by Zienki. But that one I was basically forced to do because I cannot complete the challenge without it being done because the doors won't open up. And you're basically limited to the first area, so I can't really complete the challenge without being able to complete the area. So, yes. Now, if you want to require that I do have a certain mini-boss there, then go ahead and put that in your challenge as well. But again, I will probably just go on livestream at some point and unlock them all myself, because I deleted my Mecro a while back, and all I had was my Mecro with, like, the only thing that was done was story mode, so I had to work off of that. This is technically my original Mecro. I just kept the save where I restarted the playthrough, just to go ahead and make my OP8 saves on top of that. So that's why I don't have any side quests or anything done. Before I deleted my actual Mecro that wasn't, like, you know, a copy, it had basically everything. Basically. Not everything, but close. Also, an obstacle could have been these two ultimate badass lunatics here. They don't spawn at the same time, so they're not really that hard to deal with. And I'm at 400 Anarchy at this point, so basically anything that's in my face, like a lunatic, is going to die. It's just that simple. They are going to die. They cannot take the anarchied out explosions. There are also a lot of barrels. Yeah, this is where we're coming up, but this is the area I was talking about. It has a ton of barrels everywhere, and hitting them is half the challenge, honestly. And I'm on fire, same with Tom Cruise. But yeah, hitting these barrels and taking them out easily is a problem, especially, like, during combat. It could be a big problem. And shout out for that blue over there. That blue. You never see blues drop in this game. The drop rates are that bad. But yeah, I think this is a good, like, example of how my kill skill will go ahead and help me outmaneuver big enemies like this, because they're so slow. I'm so fast. I can just spin around them and take them out without them putting up very much resistance. And he didn't go ahead and do his, like, little ground pound attack, so that was cool too. Right here, I don't know why I'm taking out the barrels. I don't think any more enemies are spawning. No, wait, they actually do. Okay, so it was a good idea to take out those barrels ahead of time. Because barrels are evil. I'm starting to realize why PewDiePie doesn't like barrels, even though I never watched PewDiePie. But I know he doesn't like barrels. That's basically the only thing I know about him. I don't know why he doesn't like barrels, but I know why I don't like barrels. Because barrels are evil things. Evil things. They shouldn't be in video games, but yet they're in every video game. Exploding barrels are everywhere. And then you give them elements. It's like, why would you do that? Why? Yeah, this area, they are literally everywhere. Like, all over the platforms, all over the ground, everywhere. And I don't want to get close to them because I don't want to risk myself dying off them. And here the Lasco is just like, screw you. So I go ahead and pick the sword explosion, make sure I back up like as far as possible so it doesn't go ahead and kill me. But when I'm attacking that nomad there with it, I see it's getting pretty close, so I go ahead and just take him out with the herald because I don't want to die. I don't want to die to myself when I've come this far. I mean, it's a 30-minute long challenge. It's definitely not something I want to repeat when I've gotten this far. Also, when you are picking your challenges, think about how much time it's going to take me, because somebody told me to go ahead and kill every raid boss in an hour in under an hour and 40 minutes. And the thing is, I cannot have jump cuts, because then you don't know if I really took that long, you don't know if I died or not. And I don't want to put up an hour and 40-minute long video of me killing raid bosses and attempting to commentate that over. Because it takes that long, it takes an hour and 40 minutes to kill all of them, unless I do it in less, which probably won't be happening, honestly. And then I have to take another hour and 40 minutes to go ahead and commentate over that, because I'm not commentating during that, because that will get me killed. So that's basically like 3 hours, over 3 hours of me working on a single video. That is no bueno. I don't do that unless I have to actually like edit a video to make it like really awesome with a lot of edits and stuff. Then that's when I'd probably put that much time into a video. But I don't do those kind of videos, so I never have to worry about taking more than like 30 minutes on a video, or like an hour total, since you want to technically count this video as technically being an hour, because again, 30-minute long video, 30 minutes to commentate over it. I have to take an hour. And yeah, so think about the time, because I'm not going to be putting up a challenge that is too long. I think the max I'll do is like 40 minutes, if even. I think now I'm really pushing it at 30, because, I don't know. Again, I have to commentate over these. I don't commentate during them, because then I will not, because then my skill level, if I'm commentating during something, my skill level will drop 50%. But I think that works that way. I think it works that way with everybody, so I don't feel too bad. So I did go ahead and Discord just to get some accuracy back, just to become an unstoppable tank of destruction. Again, I have enough anarchy to go ahead and just destroy everything anyway. Once I got past 200, I was basically guaranteed to win the challenge from that point on. So at least that's what I realized, like, after I did it. Like, okay, after the 200 mark, this is where I just became unstoppable. Just became unstoppable. If I had a Wanderlust right now, everything would be dead. Wanderlust plus like max anarchy equals you are deaf, the destroyer of worlds. Nothing can stop you. Now here I spend like a minute or so just going ahead and killing barrels and letting my blockade go ahead and eat all the hits, because that's what the blockade does. It eats up the hits. It eats them. Like, it literally eats them. I don't know why they called it the blockade. They should have called it like freaking Pac-Man or something, because it eats everything. Like, my shield barely goes down throughout this entire video. At least I think it doesn't. They can't touch me. They can't touch me. Even in raid boss fights, this thing takes hits, and it's awesome. It's like the only shield that properly works. Part of me wants to like run the shield to level 50 and just see how broken it probably is. I know it has like a capped like damage resistance lock of like 20 something. Can't really remember. If you know the actual number, you could tell me if you want to. That would probably be very nice of you. I'd very much appreciate that. But if you don't, I'll probably go look it up, or I'll probably forget. I most likely will forget. Here I throw a grenade just to kill off the barrel, even though it's not really a problem for me anymore. I just want all barrels dead. Down with barrels, down with Hammerlock, down with Kokomu haters, down with them all. So, I probably should have waited for that lunatic to go up to the barrel, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to murder him with the Herald anyway. These lunatics are my last enemies before the challenge is officially complete. I do go ahead and like run out of back to the start of Frostburn anyway. But, you know, basically after this guy's dead, I have completed the challenge. And hoorah! Another challenge completed! Add that to my Borderlands 2 portfolio. Not really. Who has a portfolio for Borderlands 2? I wonder if anybody has a portfolio for a game. I guess if you're super competitive with it, you probably would, but then again, no. I'm trying to avoid having to say I'm on fire, save me Tom Cruise here. So I do go ahead and dodge all these. And here I make sure I line up myself pretty well. Even though at this point, even if I fall, I've already completed the challenge, so it doesn't really matter. But I definitely want to make sure I don't fall, just because I don't want to look stupid on camera. Like, okay, you went through all of that and did not die. And I'm on fire, save me Tom Cruise. You went through all that and didn't die. But you couldn't pass a bridge, a little beam bridge, without dying. That would basically just make like me completing the challenge worthless, because okay, you could do all that, but you can't do this simple thing. Like, what? Now here, I also have to jump up there just to prove that I'm not incredibly like stupid. So just to be safe, since I don't have a grenade on, I go ahead and hit that. And part of me thinks it's gonna kill me and hit, like send me off to the side there, but it doesn't. For a second there, I thought it would as I was flying up, but basically at this point, nothing's gonna kill me, unless like Randy sends down his freaking like. I don't know, like Randy the raid boss just flies down from the sky during a hotfix and just like stomps on me, which would be awesome. I'd love to see a developer do that. Just have like this boss that they could summon on somebody if they're online at any time, and it just like goes and like stomps on them. That'd be so great. It's like developer's Godfoot just crushes you. Imagine that during like One Life to Live. If you guys remember that challenge that Baru came up with. I'd picture the developers trolling the Borderlands 2 community so hard with that. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I go ahead and like shoot stuff up in the air in victory. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the challenge. I completed it. Again, this could have been hard. I assumed it would be, but it wasn't too hard. I just had to play pretty carefully and outmaneuver my enemies. So anyway, again, think of your challenges. Because if I steamroll them, I probably will still post them. Just cuz. But, yep, I go ahead and kill myself here. I still completed the challenge, so and I'm going to go ahead and see you guys later. Bye.